Yeah, I'm starting out hard. All right, here we go. An umpire and a vampire square off week after week, reviewing movies outside their own strike zone. This week's movies, the 1976 Bad News Bears and the 1987 The Monster Squad, starring Walter Matthau, Andre Gower, Tatum O'Neal, Ashley Bank, Jackie Earle Haley, and Duncan Regar. Now two guys who live by the mantra, never let the same snake bite you twice. Tim Kretschmann and Jeff Miller.
Are you calling me a snake?
No, I said we don't let that happen. We don't let people do that.
I think you're kind of calling me a snake, and it hurts my feelings.
Oh my God.
I might cry, everybody.
Oh God.
Oh, hey, Swobet. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Oh, Swobet's in there.
She is. So I expect you to be on your best behavior there, Jeffy boy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, everybody.
It's been a long time.
Hey, welcome to Dead on the Base. You know, it's been a month. It's been a month because we went to horror round. Oh, by the way, I'm Tim Kretschmann. I'm the vampire, I guess. And I watch really crappy sports movies. He's Jeff Miller. He gets to watch fantastic horror films. We call him the Jeff actually designed a baseball diamond at one time using graph paper, a protractor, and a jar of chewing tobacco.
Okay.
This is true.
Okay. That is true. So
I tell people the truth on this show, and then you try to get them to watch sports movies, which is very mean of you.
No.
It is.
Nope.
It is mean.
It's sports. You know, the nice thing about sports is that there's always a win.
There is no nice thing.
No, there's always someone that wins. There's always someone that loses. And you're either the windshield or you're the bug.
Unless you're in Europe, and then they have ties all the time.
I know, it's so dumb. I want to say other words that we grew up with, but I know I can't.
Yeah, Mom's watching.
I don't care if Mom's watching. You just can't say it anymore. We would get canceled.
Yeah.
If they knew we were out there. No, listen. Hold on a second.
That's right. All right. Well, tonight.
Hey, look at this. I can hide behind my little. Hello.
You realize most people actually only listen and don't watch your nonsense.
All right.
All right. So the horror film. Oops. The horror film is The Monster Squad this week from the 80s. And it has kind of a youth-child main characters. And as counter-programming, Jeff assigned...
The Bad News Bears, the 1976 movie about baseball, Little League. It's a good movie. It's a good movie because it tells you what Little League is all about. And they did a remake with Billy Bob Thornton.
I'll be the judge of that. That's coming up on today's program. And because we usually go way too long, we're going to get things running right. Unbelievable.
You know what? Hey, wait. You know what doesn't go way too long now? Baseball, because they have pitch count. And that's ridiculous, but I have my own segment for that.
Right. You have to wait now.
I know.
Behave yourself.
But hey, you know what? Wait, one more thing.
Okay.
One more thing.
We'll
no, this is very nice.
Away. Go ahead.
No, put that back up.
No.
Okay, but listen, you know what? This is really good because
you know what?
But listen, we took that time off, and then we had a little stop last week. But this works out perfect because today is opening day, and we have a baseball flick.
We got a baseball.
That's perfect.
I'd say it was planned, but I did not enjoy what happened to me last week. So, thanks.
Neither did your toilet.
Actually, let me tell you, it was mostly phlegm. And I'll describe it. I'll describe it.
And I'll start drinking. So no.
Okay, all right. You got me. Okay, so what is the movie that I'm going to be reviewing for you? It's The Bad News Bears. Now, I went directly into the review this week because that's how this movie works. There's no exposition. It's like Walter Matthau is at the field. In fact, I was thinking about this. I think there's only one or two scenes that are not at the baseball field itself. There's like one Pizza Hut scene.
So far, of all the movies that I've given you, I think this has got the most sports in it.
Yeah. It's a little too baseball-y. But
Jesus.
There you go.
All right, go ahead.
All right, so during this movie, by the way, I'm convinced that this movie was paid for with product placement.
Yes.
Miller, Budweiser, Schlitz, Jim Beam, Coors, Pizza Hut, Denny's, and Chico's bail bonds. Now, that one I think is probably a joke. Probably. If they could have got some dollars out of them, I bet you they did it. My favorite part is in the end credits. I don't know if you saw this. It says promotional consideration for Denny's.
No, I didn't see that.
And I'm like, they had 35 other brands.
What does that mean? What does that actually mean, though?
That usually means, hey, we did a pay-for-play type situation.
So in a movie like Top Gun or something where you see Pepsi, was that in the credits? I mean, is something like that in the credits? Or
usually.
Really?
Usually to say that.
Okay, all right.
You know, they paid us some bucks and we put Pepsi in instead of Coca-Cola.
I get you. Okay, all right. All right. Something new every day.
Yeah. So, yeah, if you like Denny's, this is the movie they helped pay for. Now, the basic story is Walter Matthau's like an ex-baseball player, which, boy, does he look like he was an athlete. And he takes a job to coach a little league team. And he does this because one of the fathers of one of the kids on the team, his kid wasn't being allowed to play, and they sued the little league to get a chance to play. So actually, that part of the story, I'm like, that could have been shot this week. You know, that part of the story, that sort of stuff happens all the time.
Yeah.
Now, throughout the movie, there's lots of overlapping dialogue to help show the chaos. Because anytime you got a bunch of kids trying to do something, there's going to be chaos.
Chaos.
And that is this movie. It's Chaos the movie. Now, there were some things I have to ask. Now, it said Hank Aaron committed 42 errors in Sandlot baseball. Is that true?
No, it's not true.
Well, then he's just a fucking liar.
Tim!
What? I'm very upset at Walter Matthau. He lied to me.
Well, he did that so that Ahmad wouldn't feel bad because he missed that ball in the outfield.
Well, the heck with him, no. I mean, that's not right. They lost by 26-0 in the first game, which that seems wrong because you can't get 26-0. Not when you forfeit. Then it's 9-0. That's how it's scored, 9-0.
Yeah.
All those 26. So
Tim,
they actually appeared that they did better by forfeiting. So my question is,
that's true.
When you're playing, because I've seen times where it's like 13-1 or 15-1. Why don't those teams forfeit? And then they didn't lose by as much.
Because they wanted to give the kids a chance to maybe come back and win. Or have fun out there. They don't want to forfeit.
These kids were never going to win.
Did they not win some games?
That's because they just kept pumping money into this thing. They got some ringers, let me tell you.
But I see what you're saying about that 9-0. That's a different way of thinking about it. I never would have thought of that.
Well, this is what I'm here for. Now, there are a lot of great leisure suits on display. Holy cow.
1976.
Yeah, 1976. It is a little bit of a time capsule, getting to see those great, and you see it in the background in some of the scenes that we're showing, the great 1976 pinball machines.
Yep.
Getting to see the cars of that time. Pretty entertaining. It was fun to watch a child eat a chocolate bar with the wrapper on.
What's that all about? No kid is that dumb.
Okay.
That's dumb. That's a dumb scene.
Okay. But you need a fat kid. And the only way you can prove a fat kid's a fat kid is by making them eat a chocolate bar with the wrapper on. On behalf of all fat people, I was offended.
You have never done that, Tim. No one has ever done that. You have not done that, Tim.
Okay, earlier today, did I not tell you that I attempted to eat a piece of fruit?
Yes. Through the skin, a clementine. Yes, you did.
Okay. See how I set these up like hours before?
Wow. There is some method to your madness over here.
By the way, in Little League, do they allow girls to play?
Now they probably do. Back when I played ball, they didn't.
Okay. Because
back then they
have
probably
that
didn't
in
either.
here, and I'm kind of like...
No.
Because they don't make a big deal out of it. And I'm like, this would have been a big deal in 1976.
It would have been. It really would have been. But there's no lockers either. So
and I don't get, they let this poor little kid just pitch and pitch and pitch. Don't they have a decent pitch count?
Oh, yeah. Well, Corbin Burns got pulled today after 87 pitches in the 5th inning. Huh. Yeah.
Honestly, it was wonderful to see them do some great strategy, like a defensive shift in there. That it was like seeing a fantastic strategist like Craig Counsell going out there and really... Now, come on. You know that's good stuff. You know that's good stuff.
I gotta go to my happy place. It's not even a
No,
horror. It's
no.
not even a horror.
You know what it's time for? It is.
Oh, Tim.
Boom.
Tim.
There it is.
Tim.
What?
Trigger alert. You set me up for this crap. I don't get triggered anymore.
You don't get triggered anymore.
No.
Here's a short list.
No.
Anyway.
AT from Illinois. Discomfort of any kind to making fun of. Yeah, why would you make fun of Gordon Lightfoot? He is Canadian.
Calling protein bars chocolate bars.
Spelling. Yeah, my wife does that. So that's something my wife does. She'll give her a protein or like a health bar, and she'll be, "Oh, can I have my chocolate bar?" I'm like, Debbie, you're not eating chocolate bar. You know, you're eating
Unclosed Shades somehow made the list.
Yeah, they love monkeys. Yeah, those
there's
SOBs.
Craig Counsell, his favorite.
Oh my God.
Now I feel like we can get back to
no
the show.
ice in the fridge. Yes, look at. Oh my God, all that stuff makes me upset. I got a problem.
You do.
I got a problem. Damn.
So okay, watching this, Tatum O'Neal. This was like her second movie or something after Paper Moon.
Which
she was not playing a kid. I'm sorry. The character she was playing was not very kid-like. And we're going to be talking more about when kids appear to be kids when we talk about Monster Squad,
that's why
I'm sure.
Put these two together.
But not very kid-like. Very kid-like. She was like a little adult. And honestly, she might have been the weak link in the movie. I really think so.
Okay.
There's a lot of good little actors. She, I don't think, was one of them.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought she was believable.
I did not. She's sitting there and she was basically a little con man.
Selling maps to the House of the Stars.
Maps to the House of the Stars. Now, had it been shot in New Berlin, she'd be selling meth.
Or could you imagine that?
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
That would have been good stuff. All right. So, and by the way, is this a Little League thing that after you demolish your competition, you get together and you do a chant?
No.
2, 4, 6, 8. Who do we appreciate? The Bad News Bears because they suck.
No, you would never do that. I don't remember that ever. I don't remember that ever. I
don't think that would play today, right?
No way. Someone pull out a gun.
Oh my God.
They made that today. Someone pull out a gun.
And then, okay, so they have this little blonde kid, Tanner. And he is the funniest part of the movie. But I don't think any of his lines would be allowed today.
No.
Not one.
No, I'm thinking back to it. No. There's a lot of them that.
And then like the
Lupus?
No, bring up the Bad News page. I'm drawing a blank on the kid's name. Go over one. He's going to be near the top. Why could I not remember Jackie Earl Haley?
I mentioned him in the open.
I know. I
Kelly.
drew a blank.
Kelly Leak.
But he First of all, I thought his character actually did seem like a juvenile delinquent.
Oh my God, yes.
But you couldn't have him as a good guy character today because he wears no helmet on his motorcycle and he goes around smoking.
Yeah.
He'd be evil. By the way, was it a dig on the Brewers that they had a character that rode the bench Ogilvy?
It was not a grip on the Brewers.
It was.
No, Ben Ogilvy is
offended.
Awesome. No.
I'm offended.
Should...
By the way, why are they only playing 6 innings?
Because...
Can we do that with this show?
No. We did the first year.
That was our Little League year.
That was our Little League. That was our getting our wheels under us year.
That was the year where we did terrible trivia.
We did.
Terrible. It was hard.
Yeah, I don't know what we were thinking there, but we honed it.
Yeah.
Thanks to Stefan. Yeah. We got her done.
Yeah.
But no, that was not a rip on the Brewers.
By the way, they get into the baseball part of the movie, which I'm slowly falling asleep during.
What?
And
are you kidding me? Then
they intentionally walk somebody with the bases loaded. Who did they think that was? Barry Bonds?
Bravo, Tim.
Yeah.
That's.
This is the help that you get when you watch a movie with a baseball.
Bravo. But, nice.
Yes. But
look at that smile. You're pretty proud of yourself now.
I am. I sit next to a trivia machine while you're watching the movie.
Yeah.
It was good. It was fun to watch it with Trogdor. So, this brings us to the horror movie connection. I have no idea if this one's going to work. Let's try this.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Look at that.
Oh, look at that.
We're going to do the horror movie connection.
Yes, we are.
Let's start. Walter Matthau, did he do any horror movies?
He's been around for a long time. I'm going to say he had to have done at least one. He had to have been like a detective in one or something.
He actually did 4 episodes of Alfred Hitchcock Presents.
Okay.
And he was in a 1961 film called Great Ghost Tales.
Okay.
So, I know you love the ghost movies. I'm surprised you had never seen it.
No.
Because he obviously looks like a baseball player.
He's probably like 46 in that picture,
everything.
too.
My God.
He probably is. You know it.
Yeah. Tatum O'Neal?
I don't know.
She made a movie called The Ascent and one named Rock, Paper, Scissors that are said to be horror films. I have not seen either of these two.
Do you know what the most common, when you're playing Rock, Paper, Scissors, I just read this. What's the most common thing that the person comes out right? No.
What?
Rock. Rock is the most common thing to come out of on the first one. Rock.
Oh, on the first one.
On the first throw.
I think throughout the game it becomes scissors.
Well, I'm just saying it's
No,
rock.
I'm telling you you're wrong. All right, next is Vic Morrow, who played the opposing coach.
I didn't even recognize him, to tell you the truth. When it was Vic Morrow.
It took me a while.
Yeah. I had to check that out.
Now, Vic Morrow obviously has some horror movie credentials. Do you know the famous one?
Mm-hmm. Yep, Twilight Zone.
Yep.
He died on the set.
He died. John Landis killed him on the Twilight Zone set. I love John Landis as a director, but when you look into that story, yeah, there...
Was it just like negligence? Was it negligence?
Well, let me put it this way. You would be almost as safe with Alec Baldwin playing with a gun nearby as anywhere on that set.
Because a chopper crashed or something, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They had so many problems on that set. It was bad.
Did that movie get made?
Twilight Zone? Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Absolutely, it did get completed. In fact, I believe the scene where he dies is in the film.
Really?
I believe they included footage of it.
Was he the only one who died on the set of that one?
No, there were 2
kids, right?
2 younger children. I believe they were Vietnam because it's a Vietnam type story.
Okay.
Vietnamese kids. And that's what's really sad is the 2 children passed away too for this movie. And Twilight Zone, the movie, is probably the worst Twilight Zone of the TV series, of the reboot TV series. Is probably the low point of the franchise.
Did Landis did he get any kind of trouble? Did they
Oh, yeah.
fix
He
it,
got
or
in
did
trouble.
he get so it was his fault? Is that what we're saying?
I can't remember exactly what the ruling was, but most people now understand that there was gross negligence going on.
Okay.
But also Vic Morrow was in an episode of Alfred Hitchcock Presents in the late 50s. I could not check. I couldn't figure out if they were in the same episode, which would have been cool.
That would have been really cool. That would have been like an extra star or something.
He was in some TV movies like The Evil Touch and Curse of the Black Widow in the 70s. Then in the 80s, he was in The Last Shark, which, oh my God, don't ever watch that. And Humanoids from the Deep. And he was literally kind of, in the 80s, he was like, I'm a has-been. I better start making some horror films. And that's when Twilight Zone happened and cut him off. Now, the next one, here's another one with a famous horror movie credit. That is Jackie Earle Haley. Kelly Leak. He did Maniac Cop 3.
Okay.
He was in Dark Shadows, but he's probably best known to horror fans as he's the guy that played Freddy in the reboot of The Nightmare on Elm Street.
No kidding.
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, it was part of kind of like the Jackie Earle Haley reboot that happened when he played Enigma or something like that in The Watchmen.
Oh yeah.
No,
He was
Rorschach.
Yeah.
That's what his character was called.
Yes, I remember seeing that movie.
He got a lot of good notices for that. And the next thing he got basically was to play Freddy Krueger. I will say overall the Nightmare on Elm Street series is probably one of the more consistent film series. Unlike Friday the 13th, the bad ones are really bad and the good ones are really good. Halloween, the same is true. Freddy's are all fairly decent. And this is no exception, but he's not Robert Englund, and it just didn't work.
So was Robert Englund like salty because he got the...
I don't think so, because he had already done the same thing with the Friday the 13th films. And I think Robert Englund kind of was like, this isn't going to work. And he was correct. I don't think he was like actively, I want these people to die. Like you sometimes get.
Would that movie that what's his name? Earl Thomas, what's his name?
What? Daryl Thomas?
No. The Nightmare on Elm Street that Jackie Earle Haley played Freddy Krueger. If Robert Englund would have played Freddy Krueger, would the movie have been good? Does it come down to that character?
It would have been more popular.
Okay, all right.
But I think a lot of people would have said, God, he's old.
Okay.
And because Jackie Earle Haley has always been pretty athletic and lanky and all that, he jumped around quite a bit, which is a part of the Freddy character.
Really?
So, he's a boogeyman. He jumps out of the shadows.
I never saw it, so I don't know.
Well, you're going to.
I thought he's just in your dreams. I thought that's why they say don't go to sleep.
Chat room, remind me at the end of the show that we need to make sure that Jeff sees Nightmare on Elm Street next season. We are not going to let him get off the hook. That is a good movie. I think you'll enjoy it, actually.
Yeah, so I won't be able to go sleep at night.
Yeah, perfect.
Great.
Perfect. All right, and then, of course, the last one I want to put up here. This is little Chris Barnes, who played Tanner.
Yeah.
That's Tanner. What do you think his horror creds are like?
He was probably like an extra or something in like I'm gonna say this is gonna be something like he was in Predator.
All right. Oddly, no horror credits. In fact, he gave up on acting
after this
in 1983. Not long after this,
because he's probably in their sequels. Right?
Yeah, he was in Breaking Training for sure. I can't remember if he was in
Goes to Japan.
And no, it wasn't Ghosts of Japan.
Yeah,
the
Bad News Bears go to Japan.
Bears go to Japan. You said Ghosts of Japan.
No, well, I said
you
it
did.
fast. I said
you
fast.
Did. You said Ghosts of Japan.
Right.
That was not.
That's a good movie, by the way.
Film.
If you ever see Ghosts of Japan, worth watching.
Ghosts of Japan. This is not a thing. I'm just telling you, not a thing.
Do I get an extra point if it is?
You don't get any points ever from me again. That's right. That's what. Oh, you know who that is? Kids. Do you know who that was? Do you?
No.
Hold on, I gotta. Where the hell's the button here?
Thrilling podcast. Banter.
I'm so mad right now. Why is this not going? Okay. I think we got it fixed. All right. Now, do you know what you were just doing?
No, I have no idea. Things just pop into my head.
This, ladies and gentlemen, is the man of 1,000 voices. He just did his first impersonation for us.
Oh my God.
On the show.
Boy, good. I'm glad I did one for you. Would you like to hear an impression?
Yes. Let's hear your impression of Jackie Earl Haley singing the national anthem.
I don't know. I don't know. That's not very good.
That was actually better than I expected, to be honest.
I don't even know what that was. Hopefully there's something floating around my face. You didn't see me doing that.
Oh, my God. That was good. That made me happy on the inside. Made me happy on the inside.
Well, that's what it's all about, Tim, making you happy on the inside.
It is. It is. So it's time for me to grade.
Oh, my God. Yeah, all right.
It's time for me to grade.
I know what you're going to put up there.
I'm second guessing my number.
Oh, so you might change it.
I might. Okay, I know what number I'm going to give it. Here we go. I liked the Bad News Bears. It was a decent movie, but I'm going to give it a 7.
Oh!
It gets a little too baseball-y at the end. But
well, it's a sports movie. It's a sports movie.
A little too baseball-y. But
it's a sports movie.
What are you saying? You're being very quiet.
It's a sports movie. It has to have baseball in it.
Yeah, that's what kind of ruins it. It is funny for the first half of the movie. But there is the incident where Walter Matthau lies to us all about Hank Aaron. I'm not very happy about that. And but I liked this enough that I actually watched the Reggie Jackson biography.
I know that's on. I have to watch that. I have that marked to watch.
Hank Aaron is in there.
Oh, I'm sure he is.
Quite a bit.
Is it good? Yeah. Well, you don't know if it's good because you don't like sports. I can't wait to watch it.
I'm sure you're gonna like it.
It's Reggie, and it's just got his face. I saw it. I saw it advertised.
Yeah, it's on Amazon Prime.
Oh, I gotta watch that now.
And it's free. I'll tell you more after.
Well, no, don't ruin it for me.
I'm gonna completely ruin it for you.
You know what?
That's what I do.
I have something coming in the mail that coincides with that. I was so excited when I saw this. I had to buy it, and I'll be bringing it in.
All right. Well, hey, it's time now for our sports break. Are you ready for that?
I was in such a good mood. Now it's going to bring me down. Yes, bring it on.
Okay,
bring it on.
Let's see. We start the sequence right there. And it's doing something. There we go.
All right. We got some sports for you tonight. Marquette's out of the NCAA tournament. Wisconsin's out of the NIT tournament. In a couple days, we're going to get two. What was that?
That was the thing saying Jeff Miller.
I wasn't used to that. Did it put up my email address? Okay, no. So back to sports. Marquette's out. UWM is out of their postseason tournament. Yeah. Wisconsin is out of their postseason tournament. There's no music behind me.
I know.
Aaron Rodgers is still not a New York Jet, and I think it's going to be.
How is that taking so long?
Because the two sides can't figure out what he should be worth. And the Jets now
$20 and a bag of chips. Yeah. You got those chips over there?
I do. They're Old Dutch.
I think we got the beginnings of a football team.
Start calling Aaron Rodgers, Old Dutch from now on. But listen, this is what the Jets have
now
thrown.
Listen, everybody.
This is what the Jets have done. The Jets have said that they want something from the Packers if Aaron doesn't play the second year. That's what I think the whole the monkey wrench in the cog is. But
the monkey wrench in the cog, ladies and gentlemen.
But listen to this too. Lamar Jackson may go to the Jets. And then where does that leave Aaron Rodgers?
Lamar Jackson?
He's the quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens.
Nobody thinks he's going.
Anyways, now back to
nobody thinks
the sport of sports, the sports of gods. It used to be called the national pastime. Now it's called the Manfred Minute because there's a pitch clock, there's a batter's clock, there's this, there.
Thank God.
No.
Thank God.
An hour into the game.
Those things take about 7,000 hours to do a show.
Now when you go to the Manfred Minute, you're an hour into the game and it's almost done. That's ridiculous. But anyways, so to no one's surprise, the Brewers lost today to the Chicago Cubs because of one thing. Their manager is Craig Counsell.
Oh,
and,
my God.
The 4-0.
The greatest manager in the MLB.
The Brewers lost 4-0. They got shut out today. 3 hits, I think.
Just slander.
That's that. Corbin Burns pitched five innings, got rocked for 4 runs, and only threw 87 pitches.
Oh, my God.
It's not going to be pretty this year, folks. So the National League Central is going to pan out like this. So I'll just tell you how it's going to pan out.
Okay.
The Cardinals are going to win the division.
Right.
The Cubs are going to be in second. The Brewers are going to come in third. Pittsburgh is going to come in fourth. And the Reds are going to finish in the cellar.
Wow.
And the Brewers...
Bold words that will not come true.
The Brewers will maybe have a 500 season. Maybe. That's 81 wins, folks. I don't know about that. Oh, and the Packers?
Yeah.
The Packers right now in Vegas, Caesars, the over-under is 8.5 games this season to win. 8.5 games. Take the over. Take the over because Jordan Love will lead the Packers to the promised land.
I didn't know you were some betting deviant.
With at least 10 wins this year.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And the Brewers? Yeah. Sorry. This is Craig Counsell's last season, and it's a long time coming.
Well, I think it's very sad because he is the best in the MLB.
And I'm Jeff Miller, and that's the sports I know.
That's it. Well, thanks so much. Now, Jeff.
Yes?
We get a lot of people that call us up.
I know.
A lot of people contact us and they say, hey, you know what we really want back on the show? They want a little bit of March Madness.
Yes.
March Madness. Yay!
So here we go, Jeff. Just for you, because I know you're pretending to be other people.
We will return you
All
to
my other
the
personalities.
regularly scheduled program in just a moment. But first,
let's make some merch money.
Dead on the Bases has...
I love this.
Look at how happy
he is. You heard us right. You heard us develop the product online. You saw how the elements came
That was
together.
worth it.
You heard it all become the juggernaut of awesome you know today. We have Dead on the Bases merch. Get this high-quality, durable garment at our store or a fine partner location. Get our classic and classy tees that really shine, worn out on their own, paired with some chinos or a pair of jeans. This is for sure your new favorite tee, and it's also your significant other's new favorite tee, made with a super soft blend of ring-spun cotton and polyester to help the shirt keep its shape, as it will soon be the shirt you wear for all occasions. And what else do we have coming in the line?
I'm thinking about getting coasters, and I'm thinking about getting tumblers, like Yetis. I don't know, man. I think we got a market going. I don't know.
As always, Jeff, you are so right. Get this fabulous product now at a location near you. Dead on the Bases. When you care. And when you are...
Open it up Mosquito style.
Wow.
You know what? I'm going to need a lot of those.
March Madness. Yay!
You know what? I needed this, Tim. Thank you. I did. I did.
God.
I did.
He needed his March Madness.
I did. Tim, it kind of brings a little tear to my eye.
Did it? Okay. Well, we're glad to hear that, and we got it in while it's still March.
Right.
Right. So,
Yeah, we only have one more day of
remember
March left.
That's right.
Wow.
But now we have something new.
Wow.
Are you ready for this?
No wonder we've been off for a month. We got all this new stuff.
Yeah, I've been building some
Ooh,
things
what
now.
is this?
Here. Look into my eyes. Listen. Oop. There. Listen to my voice. Now hang on. Wait a minute. Hang on.
Stop.
Listen for a moment.
Stop.
You are getting sleepy.
Stop.
Oh, are you getting this sleepy now? You will subscribe
Yes.
to Dead on the Bases.
Good idea. Good idea.
You will frequently check our website,
Good idea.
Otherworldly Culture. You will rate our programs on major podcasting platforms. You will tell your friends about Dead on the Bases. You will tell your enemies about Dead on the Bases.
Yes.
You will follow white jeeps going through Muskego and honk your horn over and over again until the driver is awake.
Stop.
We are now at the end of our session. When I count to three, you will regain. You will regain control and awake refreshed and in need to check your breath. It's pretty stinky. You will awake in 1. Oop, well done. 2. And the 3. And that is the new session.
I like that. I like that
So
segment.
remember to subscribe, comment, and tell a friend.
Yes, because you know what? We're gonna win a podcast award. We're gonna eventually win one.
Yeah, if I can get the machine to work, we'll be okay.
Correct. So now I think since the screen's on me, we're on my segment.
Yeah,
Is that
we
correct?
are, and things are about to happen. So there it is. There's his email address, and it's
Yeah.
time for you to talk about a honey of a movie, a horror film that you are absolutely in love with.
So here's the thing.
This is how it starts.
Here's how this starts. All right. So this movie that I was told to watch is the Monster Squad.
I was told to watch, and I watched it because he told me, but god damn it, I didn't like it.
No, that's not true at all. The Monster Squad, 1987, 1 hour and 19 minutes. So it's kind of that sweet spot, about the right amount of time.
That's about the right length, yeah.
Yep. So this is a movie about all the Universal. Am I right? Universal monsters. You have.
Well,
but
it was
wait,
not
yes.
made by Universal.
No, I know, because
don't go.
I know I wouldn't want someone that's listening to this get us into trouble.
Yeah,
But
right.
but it's based off of those. So the Dracula isn't exactly looking like the Dracula. The Frankenstein isn't Frankenstein. He has the bolts on the side of on top of his head instead of on the side or something like that. Werewolf, the one that he had the hardest time with was the Loch Ness Monster. No, not the Loch Ness.
Creature from the Black Lagoon.
The creature. Hey, we're fuzzy. What's going on? The creature from the Black Lagoon.
That's what your face looks like.
No, it doesn't.
When you keep hiding behind the microphone, it's focusing on your microphone.
Oh, look at that. It's like I washed it.
Oh my god.
Doug Henning.
How much more can go wrong
Jim
in
Henson.
tonight's show?
Okay, anyways, back. What was that? was it?
Just keep
Moderator. Anyways, so what happens is, so they start
going.
you.
Thanks for distracting him, moderator.
They start, the way this movie starts is the way that it starts. And that is the fact.
Hold on. Let me get this straight. The way the movie starts is the way that it starts.
Correct.
Okay, now I feel like I know more.
It happens back in the olden days, like the 1500s or
Gothic days.
Yes. But I didn't really realize what was going on, so I was kind of confused at first because I thought this was a modern day movie. But then I figured it out. So Dracula and all those legendary monsters. So Van Helsing, right? Van Helsing, he's in this movie, but it doesn't look like Van Helsing that
It was Van Halen.
No, it wasn't. But Van Helsing is played by the Wolverine guy. The guy who plays Wolverine.
Okay, that's Hugh Jackman. That's a totally different movie.
Well then, but it was Van Helsing though, right?
Oh my god.
But he plays Van Helsing in Van Helsing, right?
This is what I.
This is why I was confused, because in Van Helsing, not Jack Black, because that's a trigger. Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman. You're dancing around. I was waiting to see
Hugh Jackman.
when you'd get a dance.
You know
partner.
it's Van Helsing. In this movie, you don't know that's Van Helsing. You just figured some guys doing some archaeological stuff.
Right.
But anyways, help me out, Tim.
Okay.
So, and I'm being serious here. Help me out.
I am too.
So what happened? It somehow that a crystal gets hidden, but how does Dracula get to the 1980s? I don't get
Magic. He also doesn't die, remember?
Right.
He's a vampire.
But
like me, he's just old.
Okay, so what he was,
I get sexier as I get older. He was just about the same amount of sexy.
And you know it.
That's right.
Sexy, and you know if you get it. Okay.
If I know, I know.
So what's happening is this guy that plays the Dracula character, okay? He comes to the 1987s, or 1980s. It's 1980s. I'm having a great time tonight.
You are.
And believe this or not, there's no liquor involved in this.
No, this is...
Tim actually saw me.
No chaser.
So here's the deal. He comes here. He's looking for this crystal. But I don't understand why.
Because it's the thing that opens the gate to hell.
And then what will happen? Then he'll take over the earth?
Right.
Okay, so that's what this is about. But how does he bring all these other people back to life?
Who knows? It's dumb. Like Frankenstein, he brings them to life by holding up a cane and hooking up wires to Frankenstein.
Did you say something like this movie was dumb?
The conceit of these creatures coming back, yeah, that's pretty dumb.
Anyways.
But it's entertaining.
It is entertaining.
Yeah.
And so
I don't need, unlike you, I don't need to sit there and go, the score jumped from 3 to 5. It's like we're missing something. And then I have to lean over and say, we're watching a basketball movie. They count in twos.
So anyways, back to this movie.
2
So
points.
Dracula comes to modern day.
2 points!
He brings back all of his buddies. He brings back a mummy. He brings back a sea creature. He brings back a werewolf.
Do they seem like buddies, though? They don't seem like they play poker together.
No, they don't.
They don't seem
and
like
the thing of it is that Frankenstein actually likes the kids. He's supposed to go after. He's supposed to go after them.
Yeah.
But he actually becomes their friend. I think it's because of the little girl. But
spoiler alert.
But I'm not. No, but I'm not going to tell them what happens.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
But anyways, now listen to this though. Hold on. So
hold on a minute, everybody.
So these outcasts at school, all these kid outcasts, they form this club called the Monster Squad. All right, and they like monsters and horror things. One guy has Stephen King rules on his T-shirt.
Which was an iron-on.
I know.
It's like, this was not even professionally designed. They just went into an iron-on.
They're like, what can we do to make him look like he likes horror? Put on Stephen King.
My God.
But to Tim's point from Bad News Bears, where the kid is eating a chocolate bar, in this movie, a kid is eating a chocolate bar through a wrapper. He does. On the street, he's eating it through a wrapper, and then the bully makes him throw it on the ground, mush it up.
That way, yeah.
Mush it up and try to eat it. And you know who that bully was? That bully was in the Wonder Years.
Yes.
He was the kid in the Wonder Years.
Yep.
But anyways, back to this. So the fat kid in here, then they call him the fat. That bothered me. That all their buddies called him
fat kid.
Yes.
Yes.
That bothered me.
Those are their friends.
Those are his friends.
And they don't even learn his name.
Like,
he does give his name at some point.
He does at the very end.
Oh, no, he says it earlier on because that's why it kept hitting me. I'm like, these guys do know his actual name, but they keep calling him Fat Kid, and they're not very nice to him.
And now
they're not nice at all.
But if they were,
I'll tell you what.
Yes.
I think this Fat Kid, he acted like a kid.
He did.
The one that ticks me off in this one is our lead character, the lead boy that runs the Monster Squad. You gotta scroll to the top. There we go. And Andre Gower played him, Sean. That kid, he all but says 1 and 2 and 3, and now I do my line. 1 and
Yep.
2 and 3. It's like
I noticed that.
it's almost like he's watching somebody off screen point to him and now say your next line.
Right.
He is so bad.
He is.
By the kid that's kind of like the juvenile delinquent to this
Yes.
team. He's good.
He is good.
He's good.
He's very believable in that
Yeah.
role.
Right.
And the part, I want to get back to the fat kid for a second,
Okay.
which is if they were buddies with him, all right,
Yeah.
his nickname would be Slim. It wouldn't be, hey, fat kid. It
Well-
would be Slim or something. It wouldn't, I think, were they trying to say
Or
that was,
Pinky or anything
But-
other than fat kid.
right. I didn't like that. And I'm the first one to
Yeah.
I'm not the most politically correct person, but I just
What?
didn't like that part of it.
I didn't either.
I
I didn't like that because it didn't seem like something
It fit.
that friends, because the whole thing is about these kids are friends
Yeah.
and they're banding together against the monsters, but they're like awful to each other.
Yes, they are.
They don't listen to each other,
No.
which is something we do.
What?
But I mean, you just sit there and you go, what the hell is this? They didn't seem to have chemistry. You know?
That's and that happens a lot in sports where a team doesn't have chemistry. Sort of like, we'll just leave it alone. But here's the thing. Because this is my part of the
You're
movie.
about to get triggered again.
I was. So here's the thing, though. I also didn't think that a PG-13 movie. Now, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, okay. I know where you're going.
You kind of do because that's where I'm going to go. But I'm jumping off it right away.
Okay.
So they're watching this girl undress. That's where I was going at. The hoodlum was watching one of the kid's sister undress. Okay, but she's
Right.
older, so she's like probably 17 or 16. But they brought up the fact that she may be a virgin, and I'm like, when I was 13, and maybe I was very naive, but if I would be watching this as a 13-year-old, I wouldn't even know what they're talking about.
I
didn't like it.
Up
I didn't
the
like that.
whole virgin thing
Yes.
like 10,000 times in a kid's movie.
Yes, and I didn't like.
I was
go
like,
for that.
wow. There's a lot of stuff in this movie.
Oh, yes,
that
there are.
I don't know if. I think a 13-year-old would enjoy the film.
Right.
I think it's hard for adults to enjoy the film
Yeah.
sometimes. It's got a lot of nostalgia for me.
No.
But
For you.
yeah, there's a lot of people that enjoy this film, and I think a lot of them saw it as a kid.
They probably did, and I
Yeah.
did not.
Right.
But I just don't think, even as a kid, do you think that virgin thing? And I'm not
The
holier than
virgin
thou.
thing,
I
yeah.
just think that it didn't make sense in there. It just didn't.
Well, okay, and I'll say this, because most monster movies do this stuff with the virgin,
Right.
the virgin. I believe most monster kids know that a virgin is a woman that's innocent. That's usually the
Okay.
description
Okay.
that is given in the Universal films, etc. So I think monster kids are familiar with that concept. What this movie does is rubs your nose into it.
And then you find out that she's
Like,
not a
wow.
virgin.
Well, now you have spoiled a big portion of the film.
Nah.
But you do that every week.
Well, I didn't really
So,
because they used the little girl
This will
instead.
be the new trigger, yeah. But
Did-
yeah,
I don't know. I
I
just
mean,
don't.
I agree. That's a part of the story that I'm not entirely comfortable with.
I think in this movie, what I wanted is I wanted more, and just hear me through this.
Yeah.
I wanted more of an adventure or quest type of thing like the Goonies, because this is a lot like a Goonies
This
type
is
movie.
kind of a Goonies ripoff, and I don't think it matches up particularly well.
But
with
there
the
was more like
Goonies,
adventure
because
in that.
Goonies is a more fun film.
It is. It's more
I
fun.
have to admit it.
I liked the part. I don't care if I spoil this. 1987.
Apparently you don't.
I like the part where the mummy's holding onto the car, and he's unraveling.
Yeah.
That was pretty.
Well,
that was pretty clutch.
I will say what Monster Squad is, it was way ahead of its time, because what it was fan service to kids that grew up on monster films on
Oh, I
Saturday
guess.
mornings. By the 1987, there have been almost 20 years of Universal films being shown as part of Shock Theater.
Sure.
And with, horror movie hosts like we talked about when we did Fright Night. So this movie does a lot of stuff that you're always kind of wishing would happen in these movies, like The Mummy Unraveling and, Wolfman, why is he wearing pants and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's all fan service type things. Now you can't make a movie that doesn't have fan service of some kind. It's always, well, this is number 18 in this movie series and, all that sort of thing. So, the new Star Wars movies, people would say, oh, it's fan service. They just show a Wookiee, and that was in, these movies. And I'm like, well, yeah, it's one of those movies. If Dracula were to come on in this movie and he didn't wear a tuxedo, you'd be like, well, that ain't Dracula. That's some other guy.
I see what you're saying.
So it does the fan service, but it's a fun movie. I enjoy it.
So, the guy, Duncan Regar, who played Count Dracula, he's been touted as played that role as one of the best Draculas on screen.
He isn't bad. He doesn't. Lon Chaney was bad. Lon Chaney Jr. was not a good vampire.
But
there are I still believe Bela Lugosi is the high level.
I'm not saying this was the best, but yeah.
Christopher Lee is very, very good. But this is a pretty good representation of the Dracula character as a vampire. So it is good, but I think it's probably the best written role in the whole movie.
Yeah, oh yeah. I agree with you on that. As much as I can agree with you, I agree with you on that. What do you think of the Loch Ness the creature from the Black Lagoon character? What do you think?
Man?
Yes. What do you think of him?
Completely. They should have just not had him involved.
Not had him involved.
That's
what I agree.
They didn't do anything with him. Well, then don't have him.
They didn't even really need the mummy
on. I just didn't care for that. The Mummy, I actually thought they did a great job with.
But did they need him really?
A lot of people really considered Mummy one of the big five.
Okay.
In those movies, so I'm not a Mummy fan.
Okay.
I don't like the old Mummy films, but people that do, and there are a lot of people that really consider the Mummy films some of the best. I thought they did a great job, particularly with the makeup.
Okay.
They make that mummy look really rough. What I think they do a terrible job is the makeup for the werewolf. The werewolf is pathetic.
But
it looks like a sports mascot.
But did they do that because they had to be careful with copywriting the actual?
I don't think so, because the Wolf Man is the character that's in the Universal films. A werewolf is a mythological character. Like Count Dracula, they were able to do Count Dracula because it's based on a novel that is in the public domain. Okay. Now, the werewolf, one of the things they had to do with the werewolf is they couldn't really push the whole moon angle. Because a lot of that is from the Universal films. So they couldn't really do that. With Frankenstein, they could make it look like this is some sort of giant monster that was put together, but they couldn't give him the true flat top. They couldn't give some of the things that they.
Yeah, that's bad. You know what it almost looks like? It almost looks like it almost looks like Grandpa from the Munsters.
Yeah. Now see that shot right there?
Yeah.
That looked good.
Yeah.
That looked good when he was like it's still half human and just changing. That looked pretty good. It's a great attempt. I still wish somebody were to make the good version of what this movie could have been. I do think there's a great monster mashup movie, and a couple years back they were talking about making a Universal Monsters universe like the Marvel movies.
Oh, really?
And unfortunately, they started it with Tom Cruise's The Mummy, which was one of the worst films ever to come out of Universal.
Do you mean Brendan Fraser?
Nope. This came out just
I never
a few
even heard
years
about
ago.
that from Tom Cruise.
That's exactly what the problem
Wow.
was. Tom Cruise can open movies. He makes big movies, and he made this thing, and it was so incredibly bad nobody could watch it. It was
Really? Was he the Mummy?
Bad. No.
Well, I don't know.
What they should have done is brought Brendan Fraser back. I've said this a million times, but Brendan Fraser at that time, he hadn't restarted his career and all that good stuff that he's done recently, so they couldn't. And
so they made like a remake of The Mummy that Brendan Fraser played in. So they made a remake of that. Is that what you're saying?
basically, but they did it different, and the way that they did it, they made it more serious.
Okay.
And it didn't really work. And they tried to have Russell Crowe in there as Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And they tried a couple of things, and it just didn't work. Now, Van Helsing that you referenced with Hugh Jackman was another attempt at kind of rebooting all these franchises, because they had a Frankenstein in there, and they had Dracula's wife and all sorts
They
of
had
stuff.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. He's
there.
huge.
And they had werewolves. They did have Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde in there. But that didn't really take off either. I'm still waiting for somebody to make that like perfect monster mash film, like the old House of Frankenstein or Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, which is considered still one of the best of all their movies.
Okay.
So, do you want to grade?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you know what I'm going to give
Let's
this.
see if it works. Okay. Tell me your number.
6.
6. Better than I expected.
Yep.
Yeah, I know this movie, a lot of the good feel from it is because of nostalgia.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm aware of that. But I still enjoy the film.
You do, and the thing of it is that you do because you like those characters. You watched this movie when you were younger, so you can relate back to that. But for me, a first-time watcher, it was not. It's not something that I'll go back to again.
Right. So, everybody, let's hope this button works. Is this going to do anything? Oh my God! It's trivia time, everybody.
All right.
Ladies and gentlemen, trivia time. We read 3 statements. 2 of them are true, and 1 is a big, fat, ugly lie. And we're going to talk about our movie. We're going to give a question to the opposing party.
Right, so I gave him Bad News Bears, so that's where my question's coming from.
Right. Why don't you go first?
Okay, I can do that.
All right. Oh, I got to change that screen. Okay.
All right, you ready?
No, because I have to change this screen so you don't say, you're looking at the chat room. All right. Now I am ready.
Oh, is mine
I am
off? Mine's
prepared.
off the chat room, too. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Jackie Earle Haley, who played Kelly, shows off his athletic prowess when he makes a full court shot and wins $10,000 in the movie Semi-Pro.
Okay.
Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon have made 8 movies together. Tatum O'Neal reprises her character as Amanda Wurzelser in the movie The Rookie as Dennis Quaid's wife.
Is Dennis Quaid's wife?
Dennis Quaid is the main character in The Rookie. He plays... Oh, see, I haven't given you this movie yet.
Yeah, that's okay.
He's an adult.
I'm going to say...
So she's not a little kid.
I'm going to say if... With Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon, that one, you're a dick if it's like off by 1. And it's got to be close to 8. So if that in fact is the case where you're like, well, it isn't 8, it's 7, I'm going to be pissed at you, just so you're aware.
Okay.
You
should know me well
close.
enough. You
it's
should
close
let me know.
around 8, so I'm kind of going to eliminate that one.
You should know me better than that.
The semi-pro one sounds really tantalizing to me. It could be true. It could be false. And Tatum O'Neal, I don't even know if she's in that movie. So, and I'm kind of like, why would that movie, I believe, is a little more serious. I don't think it's a comedy. So
No.
I'm going to kind of say that is the false one based on me not even being sure if Tatum O'Neal is in that film. So I'm going to say the third one is false.
You're correct.
Yes!
Okay. So
Woo!
what I didn't
rock and roll.
what I was getting at with that is she's still Amanda Wolitzer, but she's grown up and she's married to this guy, Dennis Quaid, who plays in The Rookie. That's what I was going for with that.
Okay.
As far as Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon, I wouldn't do that. I would never do that.
I know you wouldn't. That's why I was able to get rid of it.
And Jackie Earle Haley, have you not seen Semi-Pro yet?
I have. That's the Will Ferrell movie, right?
Yeah. He plays the
I
hippie.
can't-
The hippie that makes the shot, and then Jackie Moon is like, "Oh my God, no!"
Yeah, I kind of remember that scene, but not really.
Damn, I wish I would have had a better question for the Tatum O'Neal one because
All right.
I think I would have got you on that. Shit. All right.
Okay, here we go. I have to figure out which ones I really want to give you. We will start with. Well, that one. I got a great one in here.
Okay.
Okay. Count Dracula, Duncan Rhaegar, we talked about, has 2 degrees of separation with Pauly Shore. Tom Woodruff Jr. played the Gill Man in Monster Squad and also was in Guest House with Pauly Shore. So you can connect the two.
You're an ass with
You
those.
can connect the two. All right. The next thing is the...
Wait, that was 2 questions? Or
No, that was one thing. Count
you-
Dracula, Duncan Rhaegar, has
Okay.
2 degrees of separation.
And you're telling me
with
how
Pauly
it is.
Shore.
Okay.
His degree of separation is Tom Woodruff Jr., played the Gill Man in Monster Squad and was also in Guest House with Pauly Shore.
I got you now. I know what you're saying.
I think we can all say is one of the Pauly Shore classics.
I know what you're telling. Okay,
All right,
I got you now.
so-
All right, thank you.
Yes. Next one. I'm proud of this one.
I'm sure you are.
Shane Black, who wrote Lethal Weapon, is not the only connection between these 2 films. Mary Ellen Trainor, the mom in this film, is also featured as Mel Gibson's therapist in Lethal Weapon,
Okay.
the Lethal Weapon films.
Okay.
And last but not least, the movie was made for only $2 million, which was a low budget even then.
Those are the questions you're giving me? That's it? Oh my God.
No.
Okay, so let's go this route. I know that Lethal Weapon, I know that she is his therapist. I know that she was in a couple Lethal Weapons with him. She was the therapist in like Lethal Weapon 3 and 4 or something. So I know that's true. So now what it comes down to is Tim's little game that he likes to play with me with Pauly Shore. And Jeff's has no idea of how much money movies are cost to make. So it cost $2 million to make this movie in 1986 or 87. And that was what it would cost them to make that movie. Okay. And then the other one is that 2 degrees of separation. I know you're thinking that, you know what, Jeff? I think you're going to say that one because that sounds like the most outlandish one. So then that's why I think that one's going to be true. But House Guest, I don't even know if that's even a movie by Pauly Shore. I know he was in, I saw a lot of Pauly Shore movies. I have.
We know you're a fan.
I know. I saw Biodome and Son-in-Law and the one.
Oh my God, they're all so great.
The Jury, the Grand Jury one, remember that one? Jury Duty. I saw Encino Man. House Guest.
How could you have missed House Guest? One of the true pinnacles.
$2 million sounds about right to make a movie. But could you repeat the sentence again? I feel like I'm on a spelling bee. Could you use that in a sentence again?
Unreal.
Just please.
The movie was made for only $2 million, which was low budget even then.
Yeah, that's true. You know what? You're not going to get me with this false stuff. So I'm going to say that the one that is false, the one that's not true.
Wake me up when this is over.
I bet you they made it for less money than $2 million. You know what? The one that's false is the Pauly Shore one. That's the one that's false. Damn it! Wait, I said that one was false, right?
You did.
You mean that's true?
It is true.
It's the budget one. It's the budget one, right?
It's the budget.
And I was on that.
Yes, you were on
I was
it.
saying it. I had it said.
I was actually pulling for you on it.
I had it said. I figured it out.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, though, you were thinking the wrong way. It was made for much more. It was made for $12 million. Which in 80s dollars, that'd be like a $70 million
like
movie.
Titanic.
Today. Yeah.
You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah. Sorry. And I even gave him a hint during his, because I was making this big thing about numbers. You would never do that and all this stuff. And I'm like, I'm handing it to him, but I kind of want to. Oh, well. So now Jeff is just upset.
I had it. I had 5
You
points
had it right there.
I had it in the palm of my hand.
By the way, one I didn't use, and this is true, the movie's soundtrack features a song by Michael Sembello. He's the guy that wrote Maniac from the movie Flashdance. I almost used that. I also was going to use... the movie was produced by TriStar Pictures, which was a subsidiary of Coca-Cola at the time, because there's a lot of Coca-Cola references.
I would have said false.
Yeah.
Was that false?
That one's true. Yeah.
Really? I didn't see the...
true things. But Shane Black, the guy that wrote Lethal Weapon, was involved in writing this.
How'd you like I knew that one? Is
You
that the one
knew
you thought
that
was gonna...
one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was happy for you.
Because she looked so familiar, so I had to look her up.
Yeah.
And she did.
Yeah, and she's cute. I like her.
Man,
a
I'm
lot.
so pissed right now.
I know. This is why I don't like it when you don't do
Tim,
well
I
on
am so
trivia.
pissed because I knew it. I knew because I'm like, he put Pauly Shore in there. I'm like, he's going to think that it's false.
Pauly Shore is your Wolfsbane.
My what?
So...
It's in every one of them.
Your Wolfsbane. So you were 6, I believe, at the horror?
Yeah.
And I was a 7.
Yeah.
And I finally got one of the trivias. Look at that. You're still ahead by 1.
Damn it.
And that 1 is the difference between the sports and the horror film. But I'm a little worried because I looked at what we have coming up next week. And here it is. Here's our preview of next week.
Nice.
And I think this is going to be a tough...
it's going to be a fun week.
A fun week, yes. So I am going to be reviewing... Well, you tell us what I'm reviewing.
Well, I'll tell you this. You're going to watch horse feathers. You're going to watch Horse Feathers.
Yes.
And you would think I was drinking, but I wasn't. You're going to go see Horse Feathers with the Marx Brothers. It's about college football.
I'm going to watch it in 4K surround sound.
It's in black and white. Yes. And it's going to be hilarious.
Hey, it's fantastic. I've seen the movie a number of times. I can tell you it's going to do quite well. So I'm a little worried because I'm not sure what you're going to think of mine.
What do I have?
Mine that I'm giving you is a classic. I figured it was high time I give you something with Vincent Price.
Cool. Yeah, he deserves a
So
play.
Vincent Price, this movie is House on Haunted Hill. It's a William Castle film who is, once you start looking at the trivia of Castle, you're going to be like, oh my God, this is so insane. But it's probably one of the classic horror films that Vincent Price is in. Black and white. There are some colorized versions that are out there. I think you're going to enjoy it, but I'm not sure. I know you're not going to lose any sleep.
I'm all ready because
But
I got
I
a person
think-
that's hung. I hate that. I hate hangings.
Well, who knows? Maybe this is the one that breaks Jeff. We do have an ongoing pot. The number is
Whatever.
pretty good.
For what?
But yeah, a lot of people feel it's going to be The Exorcist.
I'm not watching The Exorcist. I will
Yeah,
not
I
watch
think-
that movie.
I think
I
it's
get
gonna
it.
happen.
You forget. Each season I get a veto.
No, you veto like half of the movies. I'm not even allowed to pick the movies for the most part. Because Jeff is like, I'm not going to watch that, and I want to watch this one, so please assign me this movie, and assign me this movie. And it's like, I don't even know if I'm playing sometimes.
Whatever.
Such a little baby.
This will be fun next week. I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be a great show, and I really do suggest to folks that watch the show, watch these two movies before we do it, because first of all, Horse Feathers is, I think, 70 minutes soaking wet. It's a very short film. House on Haunted Hill is fairly short as well, so it's not much of a time commitment, and they're both really good films.
I like Throwback Week. When we have Throwback Week, it's one of my favorite weeks.
It is for me too, because it's super simple for me to pick them. Like, I can tell you right now, next season, I am pretty sure you're going to see Abbott and Costello take on Frankenstein. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure that's happening. And that'll be a great introduction to some of the Universal films.
Can I ask you a quick question?
No.
Okay.
And we're moving. Go ahead. I'm kidding.
Well, when I think of Abbott and Costello like meets the Mummy or Abbott and Costello meets Frankenstein, whatever, the first movie I think of with that is, and now hear me out, Laurel and Hardy, Toys and what's it called? Babland?
Babes in Toyland.
Babes in Toyland.
You almost
Because
made me say
those boogeymen in there are so freaking scary. Now, is that a horror movie?
Babes in Toyland?
Is that a horror movie? I'm serious.
I don't even know how to respond
Tim,
to that.
do you remember seeing the boogeymen in there? All those little boogie guys coming after them?
Yes, I do.
That's a horror
Just
movie.
because something's scary, you think? The goal of a horror film is to terrify its audience. Sometimes you terrify the audience even though that's not your goal.
Okay.
Like any episode of ER that had George Clooney in it, it's terrifying.
Okay.
Like, who gave this guy a license to practice medicine? Terrifying.
Okay.
But it's not a horror film.
All right. Well, good, because that movie scares the crap out of me.
Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, quite frankly, is considered one of the best Universal horror movies, period.
Okay.
And it's kind of like at that point that you understand that those monsters aren't scary to people anymore. Because, people laugh at Dracula and Frankenstein today. Whoever found this scary? Early audiences found those movies very frightening, very thrilling. By the time Abbott and Costello are making fun of them, that's no longer the case.
Okay.
So it is a great film. Though.
Okay.
All right. And that's right, Trogdorsk. Jeff did forget that we put Exorcist in inning 8, but we're not telling
No,
him.
we did this year?
What?
No.
Huh? What? What are you talking about?
No, that's like Death Wish or something. 10 to Midnight or something.
10 to Midnight is going to be awesome. I can't wait for you to see that one. All right. Time to close the crypt and call the game. Thank all of you for watching and making it through tonight's show. Remember to share and subscribe to our show and feed. You can find the show at otherworldlyculture.com and follow the show on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, Pandora, iHeart, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and all those other fine places you find podcasts. Like, which one did I forget, Jeff?
YouTube.
Hey, pretty good. Pretty good. Nice.
Did you really think I wasn't going to get that?
Nice. I had no idea. I didn't know which one I had forgotten. I'm going to add that. Can't believe I didn't put that in there. YouTube. Okay. All right. Okay.
Do I get a
So
point for
remember, no, you do not. Ladies and gentlemen, if it's sports, it's a home run. But if it's horror, run home. We're dead on the bases, and we'll see you next time. We'll see you next time. We're dead on the bases, and we'll see you next time. There we go.
You know why I did that?
Why?
It's the 40th anniversary of Eliminator coming out in 1983.
Oh, really? See, I was thinking a lot of people compare Monster Squad to Back to the Future, and I thought, well, maybe he's doing something off of that, which they don't compare well. I mean, Back to the Future is like one of the greatest films of all time.
Yes.
So it's kind of like, what? Why are you comparing those two? That's
Really?
mean. It's
I
really
would not
mean.
think that at all.
No,
That's almost an insult. In a way.
You know, I do like Monster Squad, but rewatching it, I was like, yeah, this movie.
You knew where I was going, but I think 6 is a
I think
solid
6 is
answer.
solid.